Who's ready to get expert with their crafts? I certainly am. I've moved us to the lavender beds. We're at my house, so it's nice and quiet. No one can disturb us. It's a bit of a wet day, but I think we're just about ready to crack on with these crafts now. So yeah, let's get straight into it. I'm going to do this as a culinarian. We are a specialist. I have already popped my food. Don't forget to pop your food. And let's go ahead and craft these artisanal Sky Builders sorbets. So, we're at the beginning of the craft. This is the most important bit. This is where we need to pray to the crafting gods, to let luck be on our side, because that's what this first part is all about. It's all about getting a little bit of luck. So, what we're going to do is we're going to pop muscle memory, and then we're going to pop veneration, and we've instantly got the first of a few available procs. So if you look at the condition, that does change throughout the craft, and I don't really know what dictates it. I don't know if the higher your stats are, the more likely it is you're gonna get one of these little buffs as you go through. It could just be completely random. But there are, I think, 5 different possible buffs you get on your condition. So you can track that up here. Good enables you to use 3 additional moves. One is Tricks of the Trade, which returns some CP. Another is Precise Touch, which is like a free focus touch, but without the observe beforehand for the 100%. And the last one is Intensive Synthesis. So these are all available when the condition becomes good. There are some other condition buffs, which I'll just quickly go over. So one of them is Sturdy, which reduces the durability loss by half. Another one is Malleable. So that one, I think it's a new one, and it helps buff your progression again by, I believe, 1.5. So pretty handy if you get that at this stage. Then you've got Pliance, which is a really, really useful one that you'll want to hope you get throughout this. It reduces CP cost of your abilities by half. And the last one is, I've actually got it written down because I keep forgetting, Primed. Which is actually again a new one. So that if you use a buff when you've got the prime condition, it adds another 2 steps for free. So for example, Innovation, which is normally 4 steps, becomes 6. So that's a new one as well. They've all got really good uses. Obviously very situational. For example, Sturdy reduces durability cost by half. I might use that if I want to use proprietary touch or groundwork. The malleable one, again, as I say, increases your progression, so really good, really handy at the start to get that up as high as possible, which is what we're going to do now. So we'll just talk about that as we go through. So we've got the good condition, which enables us to use Intensive Synthesis, which is 100% less progress than Rapid, but it is a guaranteed 400%. So I'm going to go ahead and use that, seeing as we've got it. We've now got Malleable. Now, this is where you have to be a little bit careful, because we've got about half of the craft already completed. And sometimes what can end up happening is you can end up with Malleable while you've got other buffs up, like Veneration. You can use Rapid Synthesis and not realise actually that it pushes you too far. So on a couple of occasions I've actually finished the craft at the very beginning before I've done any collectability, because I just haven't kept track of how much progression I'm actually going to gain. I don't think I can get more than half from a Rapid Synthesis and a Veneration and a Malleable, so I'm just going to give it a bit of a try. Yeah, okay, so this stage is exactly where we want to be, just on the edge of finishing the craft. So this is a really good position to be in. From here on, we really should be able to finish this. It's just a case of how collectible now can we make it. So we've got a good condition again. I'm going to use this Tricks of the Trade just to get some CP back. I'm now going to use In Acquire. Obviously, don't forget to use In Acquire. And you want to use it before, I've used it before manipulation, and the reason I've done that, and you want to think about this as you go through, is if there's a chance you can proc a condition that will be useful, then always try and do it. So if I had used manipulation, obviously it would have just cost me 96 CP. If I had used In Acquire, which I have done, there's a chance it could proc the pliant buff, which means manipulation would be half the cost. So it's always worth trying to let that happen. In this instance it didn't, so we're going to hit manipulation anyway. We've now got another good condition, so I'm going to use another Tricks of the Trade because it's kind of free, and that will help us a little bit later on. We've now got a pliant. What I'm going to do is though just hit innovation, and we're going to start getting our collectability up with some prudent touches. Prudent touch, always a good way to get your collectability or quality up, just with the reduction in durability loss. So we've now got a sturdy, so what I could do is use a proprietary touch instead there. Get a bit of extra collectability with only losing 10 instead of 20 durability. Now this is an interesting position actually. So we've got pliant, we've got 2 steps of manipulation left. I'm actually going to use manipulation again, so we'll lose those 2 steps, but because the CP cost is halved, it's definitely worth it in my opinion to do that. So we're going to go ahead and use manipulation, we're going to go ahead and use innovation, and we're going to carry on with our prune touches. So we've got a good condition, definitely use precise touch, just no brainer. We've got it again, so we're going to use it again. We've got sturdy. I am going to use prudent touch again actually. So we're now going to use innovation because innovation's dropped off. Prudent touch. So we're now at max. What I should have done there actually, I should have done observe and focus touch, but I actually wasn't really concentrating. So we're at that point now where we can start using some focus touches if you've got the CP for it. We've actually now got another pliant, so I am going to go ahead and use manipulation again because the half cost is just worth it. And now I'm going to use, I've got 2 steps of innovation. I'm going to use observe and focus touch on that one. And we're now going to use innovation again. And we're going to use, so we've got primed, which isn't really going to help us here. So I'm going to use observe, focus touch, and so the stage we're at now is we've actually gone over, there's kind of a low point threshold where as long as you use your Great Strides, Innovation and Bragon's Blessing sort of finisher, you can get over the smallest threshold for a hand-in. So that is a collectability of 5,800. It's the lowest you can hand in with. If you get 3,800 collectability and you use that as your finisher, I've never had it not fall over that 5,800 threshold. So you know that if you get to that point, you can hand something in. Obviously, at the moment, we've still got some durability left. We've got a little bit of CP left, so I am going to continue and just try and get this as high as possible. So, what I'm going to do is go for I always forget what the CP cost is of the last combo, but I think I can pretty much fit in another focus touch, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. That also sometimes happens, which is a bit annoying, so you use observe to use focus touch afterwards, and then the good condition comes up, and it kind of always feels like a waste, but that kind of is just how it happens sometimes. So what we've got now is we've got quite a bit of durability, but very little CP. We've got enough CP to do the finisher, providing I use it on this innovation I've just used. but we do have a couple of hasty touches we can use, which use no CP, and they just use up a little bit of durability. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we have one that's failed, do one more. Okay, that failed as well. No big deal, we know we can finish it anyway. So great strides, break up blessing. And I think we're 12 collectability short of the highest hand in. I think the highest hand in is 7,300. So I actually do have enough durability left for one more hasty touch, which I'm tempted to do. So let's just give it a try. No, okay, wasn't meant to be. So let's go ahead and finish with basic. There we go. So yeah, that was not bad. So 7,288 collectability. Probably baggers maybe 800. Sky Builders points. That's towards your class points. Towards if you're in like the event, I think it's more like 600 points or something like that, and probably 70 scripts, more or less. So I'm going to do a couple more just so you can kind of see the success rate, and then hopefully that should give you some ideas. I'll leave my cursor on so you can see what I'm pressing, and yeah, fingers crossed we'll have some success. it.